Look, I get it. There are moments when you sit there and wonder, where would my life be if I didn't put limits on myself? If I could snap my fingers today and say, this is where I want to be, what would that even look like? Most people never let themselves go there. They're too busy surviving the week to imagine a life that actually excites them. But here's the part nobody tells you. You don't start by planning next month or even next year. You start by asking a bigger question. Who do I want to be when I'm older? What kind of person do I want to look back and see? Then you work backward from that vision, all the way to today. That's how direction is born. Fear feels like protection, but it's not. Fear doesn't keep you safe. It keeps you trapped. Whatever you're afraid of quietly becomes the boundary of your freedom. If you're afraid of failing, you never really try. If you're afraid of being judged, you never really show up. If you're afraid of being alone, you surround yourself with noise. And yeah, being alone can be uncomfortable, but being alone for a season isn't the same as being lonely. Sometimes isolation is necessary. Sometimes you need space to meet yourself again, without distractions. Most people numb that discomfort with distractions, endless scrolling, constant entertainment, staying busy just to avoid feeling. And you know what's crazy? That doesn't fix anything. It just delays growth. Growth asks you to sit with yourself long enough to decide who you want to become. It asks you to create an inner code, a personal compass that says, this is how I live my life. When you do that, the outside world doesn't shake you as much. Circumstances still happen, but they don't control you. Consistency is one of the most underrated qualities in the world. Every truly successful person has it. Not talent alone, not motivation. Consistency. It doesn't guarantee success, but a lack of it guarantees failure. There will be seasons when your life feels out of balance. You can't be exceptional at something while perfectly balancing everything else. Sometimes you're going to give more energy to your dream than your comfort. That's not unhealthy. That's commitment. Only risk takers. If you're doing exactly what everyone else is doing, you can't expect a different result. By definition, playing it safe keeps you average. And average isn't bad, but if you're honest with yourself, it's probably not what you want. The heart of who you are matters more than titles, money, or status. A dishonest heart leads to a dishonest life. A loving heart creates a meaningful one. Greatness always starts from the inside out. There's nothing more motivating than the feeling that you're growing. Study after study shows that when people stop growing, they stagnate. That's when negativity creeps in. That's when self-doubt takes over. Growth gives you momentum. And here's the paradox. The deeper you commit, the freer you feel. The ego thinks endless options mean freedom, but real freedom comes from choosing a path and walking it fully. When you surrender to growth, life may not go according to your plan, but it often becomes better than anything you imagined. Chasing success directly rarely works. Chasing money, chasing validation, chasing outcomes can exhaust you. Transformation is magnetic. When you refine your character, expand your skills, and strengthen your mindset, opportunities start finding you. Success follows growth. It doesn't lead it. And this might surprise you. A lot of what holds you back isn't confusion, it's excuses. Deep down, you know what needs to be done. You just haven't committed to doing it consistently. Take a hard look at your environment. The people you spend the most time with matter. If they lack ambition, if they're stuck in negativity, that energy pulls you down. You either decide to change, or you accept the future that comes from staying the same. There's no neutral choice. Adversity will show up either way. The difference is whether you use it to grow or let it define you. The people who change the world are often called crazy first. They question norms. They refuse to live inside invisible boxes. And when someone calls you crazy for thinking differently, remember, it might just be uncomfortable because they're still stuck inside that box. The greatest performers aren't superhuman. They just collapse the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They act. Here's a secret. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you can count. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. You have to be willing to look foolish when you start something new. Humility is the gateway to growth. If you never start, you never develop. If you never develop, nothing changes. If you want something different, you have to do something different. You can't repeat the same habits and expect a new outcome. The real fear isn't death. It's waking up every day to the same life, knowing nothing is changing. That's what slowly drains people. The way out is becoming internally focused, knowing what you want, trusting your own voice over everyone else's noise. Starting is the hardest part. But if you're listening to this, you've already started. That puts you ahead of most people. Ignore the doubters. They're usually afraid to begin themselves, show up consistently, even if the progress feels tiny. Small improvements compound. Over time, you can become unrecognizable. Do what you choose to do well, and don't do anything you'd be ashamed of tomorrow. Integrity matters. Keeping your word to yourself matters. When you break promises to yourself, you weaken trust internally. When you keep them, you build confidence that can't be taken away. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's stepping toward fear anyway. Every step you take toward what scares you expands your life. You're flawed. You're limited. And that's not a weakness. That's the story. Overcoming limitations is what gives life meaning. You either commit to mediocrity or you commit to growth. There's no halfway choice. Life is asking you to contribute something real, something honest. Purpose matters more than temporary happiness. Happiness comes and goes. Purpose anchors you through the chaos. You owe it to yourself to see how far you can go, to see who you can become. That thing you're afraid to do is only scary because it's unfamiliar. Once you mobi, clarity follows, not before, after. So take the step. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Take it now. That step toward fear is the step into bravery. If this message hit you, comment iron below. This channel isn't for everyone, only for those who choose discipline over comfort. Subscribe if you re one of Tim. I'll see you at the top.